And good morning, guys. This is Simon with Trade and Perform Coaching, doing the trade review for Tuesday going into Wednesday today. So obviously, we have a big gap down today, but our focus is on yesterday. So remember let's just kind of go through a quick refresher, right? The gray areas, this, these are predetermined support resistance levels, and we're looking for the market to rotate off those levels with the algo kicking in to confirm the location and the setup, right? So in addition to that, once the market opens up, we use the 5-minute initial balance to determine who has control using orthodox close above and below to determine direction. And as you'll see yesterday in the room, I kept posting up, we needed above 16,690, which would roughly be an orthodox close above, in order to come up and test prior day's high. And the support resistance level is sitting just above, and then an old prior day's high at 17,750, meaning this orange line was more than 24 hours old, but never retested and was a prior day's high. So if you look how we opened up, quite straightforward, pretty narrow and tight right on the open in the first half hour, and we established obviously that 5-minute range. This is where within here we established that sellers are in control. I'm going to shift gears over to the other chart in just a moment. And then you can see the IB became resistance and the target down, right, which took forever into New York lunch, actually the end of New York lunch, and we finally tagged the support resistance at 17,558. Counter rotate to a 382 retrace. Again, we test one more time, taking out the stops off to the left, trap, and lift back up into Google's numbers here at the close. This is obviously where Google's numbers came in. You can see we went right down to support and prior day's low. And now you can see after hours we traded underneath prior day's low into the next support resistance area in Asia. They try to hold it, quick counter rotation. And then you can see we got a further gap down there at 1546. So I don't know what was going on there, but that was an intra-session gap down. Let me reload and recalculate really quick to make sure that's correct. Yeah, they're showing that as an intra-session. Oh, you know what this is? This is close, and then this is Asia open, which gave a further gap down. Gap down into support there, and then rotation back up off of that. And then you can see this has been the overnight session, and you can see that this 17,421 is acted as support all night. And then we finally busted it. So now coming into the day, right, you can see this prior day's low, the 17,410 to 17,421 is the resistance above. And then I'm going to have to go and do some homework because I don't have support below there. It's there, I just haven't done the homework on it, so I'm going to go do it. The way that transfers into the actual trading setups is you go from that to this. So knock that down. I'm not going to worry about the 10 tick. I'm going to just focus on the bigger time frame, right? So if you look from yesterday on these levels, all these levels are here. Let's do this. Chart number. We set this yesterday, so this is number. Why can I not see which chart number this is? Oh, there we go. Number 16. So I'm going to minimize this, come over here, F5, chart 16, chart drawings, 16, okay. And there's the levels, okay. So now look how this played out in real time, right? So here's our open, right? We established our 5-minute level. Sellers are in control at this point. And what that means is until we get the same type of close, an orthodox close above this level, sellers are in overall control. So as I point out almost every day, what I want, if sellers are in control, establish, backside test, push down. Now the difference on the short is because we are above the 5-day moving average, that this has lower odds of working out as well as it does above. So if you look back on Friday, Monday, and Tuesday, I believe Thursday as well, or maybe Wednesday of last week, you'll see we were unable to get below IB low, and we would consolidate through just like this, but failure to get above IB low, and we pushed out into trend up. Yesterday, we could not make it back above IB high, right? And IB low became your resistance. Now within that, right, you will notice, so this is a distinct difference. When we get above IB high, we tend to trend up, and shorting becomes really difficult. You'll notice down below, if you took your long signals, for example, this dot gets stopped out and trapped back in. It provides good trades. You will also notice that traps back, what also works is once you get in here, is traps back into those dots down, stopped out, trap back in, roll, dot down, stopped out, trap back in, roll, and that eventually led to the roll to test support. And then you'll see when we got to support, right, as we roll down, when we get to support, you have star down here, star up, excuse me, stopped out, trap back in. That would be my long. I would have had to take this twice if I'd been in here in the afternoon to trade it. I would have taken this trap. It would have been stopped out. There's no question about it. And I would have retaken it here, obviously recovered my stop and gotten paid on the rip to the upside. And then you'll see this star again, stopped out, trap back in, lift to the upside. I have not been trading the afternoons because it's just, I've been making my money in the morning, I guess is the best way to put it. And then you'll see the lift there, and then you'll see overnight. So you'll see we come back to support, don't quite hit it. And you'll see these traps, star, trapped out, star back in. It's a great trade, right? All the way over here. Rolls you all the way down. No trade for me over here. You can't take the orange dot stuff, but I would have wanted it to tag and at least done a tweezer's bottom off of this, a head and shoulders tweezer's bottom off of this guy, so no setup. And then you'll see when we came out, here's the overnight. So here comes the news. You can see we go right into support, bounce out of it. They test it again, bounce out of it, back up to the other resistance, finally break below to the next support area. I wanted to go back through that real quick. See when we hit this, they try to hold it. And that was, I'm pretty sure that's 14, 15. That was during the conference thing. You see they gapped down in Asia and came right out of support. Those support resistance levels are really good. I don't trade them blindly, but I will trade them like a star out of support resistance, especially with the dot. That's a valid long, not in Asia because I don't trade Asia, but yeah. And then you can see overnight we've broken support, and now you can see this star trap failed, but then the next trap back in with the star obviously lifted, and then you can see this star trap lifted overnight. The algo worked just fine in this condition. I would expect it to work just fine again today. So I will go post up the levels here in just a little bit. My name is Simon. I'm with TRADEnPERFORM Coaching. This is how you get a hold of me. If you would like a 5-day pass to the room, TRADEnPERFORM@gmail.com. And you can also find some comments at FLOH AI. So that is a new project that I am working with on options, and I'm really excited to be part of that team as well. So anyways, that's my 2 cents, guys. Have a great day. A couple things before I leave you. Know your tilt pattern. I would suggest you blow off the first half hour. It is Fed day. Remember, on the March to the Million, you only need 4 days, 20 Apex accounts, $300 a day average. That means you do not have to trade every day, and you certainly don't have to trade today. Why am I not trading the first half hour? First of all, it's the most amount of risk. There'll be a ton of volume going through. NQ will be thin. I'll let it settle out, and then I'll come in and attack, get my couple of dollars, and then I'll let all the pros who know what they're doing handle actually trading while the Fed chair speaks. I think it's totally unnecessary to trade in that time frame, and I will be leaving it completely alone. Anyways, let's go have a great day, guys. I'll see you all in about an hour. Talk to you soon.